there. Sorry that I actually did have a couple of small bites of it. But on a couple different days, one day being today, because how can you avoid it, right? Whoops, just a moment here. So, I don't know. I just felt like talking a little bit about this and asking if anybody has any strategies. I mean, you could say we'll freeze it so it'll keep, but then it can easily be unthawed. um, and, you know, I'm not sure who I'd give it to, and I'm not sure they'd be able to not eat it also. I can get another one. I can get another one. It's true. This video is just one of two that I have planned today. I'm just waiting for a delivery of something that'll take a bit of time to put away. Also because it's raining, and and it's going to be coming in paper packaging, so I don't want things to get wet or not be able to easily bring them in the house because the bags rip. Um, but so. But I'm happy to have somebody here. Welcome. Curious if you've ever been to the channel before and how you came across it. So I could tell you what my other video is going to be about. It's going to be about, and if you'd like to answer here, you can as well. What do you do for work, or would you like to do for work? And then also, there's something that keeps making me think I'm meant to talk show style interview someone today, but I don't know who. But about this cake, I acquired it from a place that is connected in my mind with a few things in the past 2 or 3 months, but it all started because of the passing of a young friend who was 32 years old and passed of a health condition that she has. And she was quite well known in the music community and also as a server at more than one restaurant in her working life. And so they have a hamper at this place. And I got this, last time I went there, there was a lot more baked goods than, and it's somewhat ironic, all the sweets. But again, you have to make sure your levels are, sometimes you need more, sometimes you need less. And it's kind of diet is about balance, right? But there was a lot of desserts, and I got this really nice cake. I have a birthday in 3 weeks, and even though I do have a couple cake mixes, but this cake is really nice, and I'd really rather save this one for my birthday. And I don't, I'm not going to be doing a whole lot, and I don't know. By the way, I must also state, because the person that's here right now has been watching for pretty much since I started rolling 3 minutes ago. If you are commenting, unfortunately, on this device, and I'm just doing it because it was the easiest way to capture the cake instead of using the laptop. This device, I'm not sure if it's showing comments properly. If you haven't commented, please do, and then I'll know. But I will do the other one later via the laptop. You can still like and subscribe if you haven't, and I appreciate that very much as well. But anywho, hi Michelle. Hi, how are you? That's why you stayed, because I know you, and you're giving me the time of day, and I appreciate it. This device it was plugged in. It got, I think, 70 or 80%. It's already at 45. This spare phone, it drops fast, man. But how are you? And yeah, do remember to like. I know you already subscribed, so I appreciate it. And our delivery that we've gotten from where we've getting it from this time before is usually closer to the top of the hour. In fact, they are now about to be a minute late in delivering, which is very rare. So I'm not sure what's up with that. So I don't want the bags to get wet, like I say. But anywho, so you'll kind of actually know who I'm referring to. And it's kind of like, I just thought it was kind of an amusing thought that, and I kind of already know the answers to the other idea I have later that I mentioned because I'm familiar with you. But it was kind of an interesting thought to, and it doesn't press into the base very well. You have to kind of press it in from the bottom. But yeah, it was kind of an interesting thought to kind of think, I have this cake that I would like to enjoy, but I should save it for my birthday. Which, honestly, I've been feeling like it's here. I must say, this must be the first. I think it's the first year I've ever felt like my birthday is already here. Not because I've done anything, um, but because my body's feeling older. I guess I'm in a hurry to know what's next in life, and I mean that can come before my birthday. I mean, goodness, I welcome it. But and I've just been thinking about getting to that next chapter, age-wise in life, and what it's going to mean. Yeah, but that's next month. It's next month, though. That's what I'm saying. Um, um, and truth be told, my father only made it to the end of that age category. It's still wild to think how my mother recently told me that she was my age when my dad passed away. Like, even though I can stand here and say I feel old, I'm really not that old. I mean, he was so young. And so was my mother, Also, she's having her birthday. I won't be able to attend. I've been seeing her a little bit lately. We had a fall a little while ago, so it's... But things have been actually pretty good. And we went past the place that she's booked hers at, which is actually only a week after mine, and I always forget it. Well, let's see here. Yeah, almost exactly a week after mine. I don't know how I always forget how close they are. But she's going to be going to a restaurant that has been in business for 40 years and is closing. And there's other places in the world, I'm sure, where that's a thing. But they're only now taking reservations for groups of two. So she's just going with my step, and we just got a second view too. However, that being said, I did say that might change. People may cancel or whatever. I've only been to it once or twice, but and I learned yesterday that the Mediterranean borders Italy. Anywho, well, we don't use Instacart anymore. We use the site directly for what we get our groceries, and so we can't communicate with the shopper as easily. They might send a text from some non-local number that might not even be text backable, if that's a word, once it's here. And they should know, try and make contact with us. If the doorbell doesn't work, and it doesn't actually, and I believe there's a sign here, to knock loudly. I mean, the dog were here too, because putting those paper bags on the wet deck isn't gonna be a good idea today. Half the time they fill them so much that you have to take some stuff out of them anyway. It's annoying. Anyway, I gotta get back to work. Okay, well, it's been nice to have you here. Eat cake because it's a great day. Well, I had a couple spoons of it, but I love that phrase. Just eat cake because it's a great day. Or if you eat cake, it will be. Let them eat cake. Have your cake and eat it too. Those kind of things, right? It's a piece of cake, really, but no. I mean, I imagine that cakes can be kind of expensive, and I don't know. There's just I don't want I don't want to have to worry about getting it delivered and it. Although they're done, and they still stayed intact. Getting it delivered and it something happening in the delivery, and it's just I don't know. And like I say, I don't we don't have a lot of family, and that's why it's like we're probably not gonna do a whole lot. But so I'm guessing that the person watching now is not Michelle, or did you stay, Michelle? I'm curious. Either way, remember to like and subscribe. I know that if Michelle did leave, she meant to like, because we are fairly kind of familiar with each other. And okay, now the other person left, and I know that she would like me. She would like to like if only she did. But yeah, what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, just kind of. That being said, I was at that place the other day for a meeting, and I stopped at a store that I've never been to before, and we were really just getting something quick from the deli. I got a couple other things, but I really wasn't, didn't have a lot of time to shop, and a lot of money with me, and I did have my mother with me who can't do a lot of walking. These days. But I got a really nice wrap thing that I plan to have the rest of. I wanted to see actually. The dog just laid down nicely at my, kind of near at my feet, and he's pretty calm. But I wanted to see. So I did get some cupcakes, and I guess I can work. That's the truth. That is the truth, people. But see, I don't like a lot of breakfast foods, and I'm a little bit picky. So a lot of the time, but not always. Actually, I'm going to put that in the freezer for now. Um, I might just have a cupcake, or after my nap. Um, so, and I was joking with Jay the other day. I'll not forget the meeting the other day. Somebody said that the top of a cupcake tasted sour, and you'd think this lady would have taken it if she liked sour, or not if she didn't, because not everybody does, right? And instead, she kind of licked the. It was just a mini one, like these. She licked the top of it, went ugh, and threw out the whole thing instead of like knocking off the icing. I guess she would have had to write. There's probably napkins there, and eating the cake part. People are so wasteful, and that's just one example. Some of them are so wasted. No, but she wasn't. Not at that thing, or at least not that I know of. Alcohol certainly wasn't served, I'll tell you that much. But no, this place has been great. I mean, I'm probably recognizable with my hat and that. But this place has been really great, I mean, it's been a little bit of a slow to go start. But, the Hummingbird and the one support group, although then it was on hold for a while. Now that's just the one that goes for 4 weeks and then it's done. And then I don't know when the other one's going to resume, but they alternate between two locations. I guess, it's a fairly quick ride and it works half days, so that kind of works. But the other, and I've only been to that location for that once. And it sounds like, even if I say the specific name, I'm still not saying the place. But it sounds like Shahita has been to a number of groups in counseling at that place. I'm not saying the place, and even though it's kind of a unique name culturally, it's not. Anywho, what is cool though is putting flowers in someone else's grave, or giving somebody's shoe collection, so Z, and that's pretty cool. To have such steps. Anywho, but I've done a pipe ceremony thing there. I haven't made any connections yet. I mostly have just connected with the people that I've seen them at this place, and so there's definitely some familiar faces. And but yeah, so I'll roll the other one later, I guess. But I just got to say that we're doing the other account though for the. I like it. But that I just got to say that I'm very thankful to my friend Ray and her spirit for bringing me that place. It's something I really need right now in my life. Regardless of how I got connected and all that may look like. It's also a general place and stuff like that too. So it's been really nice. I went to a garden tour with them, community garden tour thing. I almost may have found the cure for arthritis, but I talked about that in the other day's video a little bit. But yeah, so it's the power. I would say that even though sometimes we don't feel it, or we feel it very gently and mildly, I would say it is the power of our loved ones in heaven, and what they can precipitate in our life. Sometimes, honestly, I do feel like they probably feel just as stuck as we do about our situations, and they simply wish us the best and send us lots of love. But she's only been there a little under a year. But yeah, it's certainly interesting to think that. Certainly interesting to think of what she's brought me. And hopefully when I do my next podcast, and with any of my other videos that jump out at the viewers, I hope that brings me lots of nice conversation and connection, as usual. Okay, bye for now.